Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back in today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is Week 5 wide receiver rankings. Now, before I go through wide receiver 1 through 32 for this given week, Week 5, I'd like to give you guys a word from my sponsor, OverlayDFS.com. They're a great website, great people over there. I play on it every single week. They also now even have an app linked down below in the description for that. Cue the roll now. Tired of having to pick the perfect player at every single position in order to win at salary cap DFS? Are you tired of having your salary cap lineup out of the running to win money in the first 5 minutes? Does playing salary cap DFS feel like a job and not even a game? Want a fantasy game where pros with 150 lineups and computer generated games can't dominate? OverlayDFS.com has a new revolutionary start-sit game for fantasy sports. They are the home of the single-entry GPP. How do you play? It is a simple start-sit format. Make 12 start-sit decisions from the 30-plus matchup presented, like you can see on my screen right now. A winner, win, loss, or tie will be awarded to your overall record for each decision. Records of the top 10% of users win 9 times your buy-in. 12-0 records win GTD progressive bonus. All matchups are player versus player who will have the most fantasy points. Usually, an 8-4 record is good enough to get that cash. Sometimes 7-5, other times 9-3, depending on the week. Make 12 picks on the matchup options listed. For example, in Week 5, it could be Cooper Kupp versus Todd Gurley, Adam Thielen versus Stephon Diggs, Carson Wentz versus Tom Brady, and many, many more. The object is to stay consistent and finish in the top 10% of the field to win 9 times your buy-in until the stars align and you go that beautiful 12-0. Right now, if you go the perfect 12-0 in the $109 game, you'd win the progressive bonus of over 26 big once, $26,000. They have buy-ins at all levels. If no one hits that perfect 12-0, the progressive bonus keeps growing and will roll over until it gets hit. It's like the super contest, but for DFS. Do not get shut out. Visit www.overlaydfs.com today. And we are bike week 5 rankings. Let's get right into it. At number 1, we have DeAndre Hopkins. Now, DeAndre Hopkins has been disappointing the past couple of weeks. Week 1, great game. Week 2, Week 3, Week 4, you could sleep because of how great it really was. It was not performing up to expectations, but I think this week against Atlanta, where we saw last week Tennessee Titans, Marcus Mariota absolutely dot up that defense. A.J. Brown, Corey Davis both looked good in that game. You all know who's better than both of those two combined? DeAndre Hopkins. He's in for a big game this week. At number 2, we have Julio Jones going up against the Houston Texans in that exact same game. Now, Matt Ryan has not looked the best, but we do know that his favorite target on the team is Julio Jones. And regardless how shit the Atlanta offense looks, Julio Jones always ends up getting that work. So I like Julio Jones this week. At number 3, we have the best route runner in the National Football League, and that is Keenan Allen going up against the Denver Broncos. Last week we saw Minshew Mania, the Minshew mustache god, absolutely eviscerate the Denver Broncos defense. I think this week Mr. Keenan Allen can do the same thing. At number 4, we have OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. Now, he will fall down a bit in these rankings if I know for sure Jarvis Landry is good to go. But even if Jarvis Landry is in, I still see him as a potential top 5 guy this week. Baker Mayfield is in his redemption arc. He's trying to redeem himself. He has not played all that amazing thus far this season, but I think this week against San Francisco, a defense that some argue is very good, I think that Odell will be able to have a great game against them this week. At number 5, we have Mike Evans going up against the New Orleans Saints. Now, I know you might be thinking, what, Nick, why do you have Mike Evans ranked ahead of Chris Godwin? You idiot. All right, Mike Evans, I have him ranked ahead of Chris Godwin because in my personal opinion, he is Jameis Winston's number 1 target. Jameis Winston is always going to be looking Mike Evans' way, and I think that Mike Evans is going to be able to have a phenomenal game this week against New Orleans. But don't think I forgot about Chris Godwin because he is right behind at number 6. Chris Godwin has been a world beater this year. His speed is unreal. He is playing phenomenal. Multiple 30-point weeks. I think this week he could potentially have that again against New Orleans. At number 7, we have the wide receiver on the other side of the ball, Michael Thomas, going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, we saw last week Teddy Bridgewater was not throwing the ball all that much, was not trying to take any chances and sling the ball downfield, which is something that Michael Thomas excels in. But what we did see is Teddy Bridgewater throwing the ball to Michael Thomas constantly. I think he could see 10, 11 targets in this game if he comes down with 7 or 8 of them. them, you know that's going to be 100 yards, and you know that could potentially be a touchdown against the Buccaneers defense. At number 8, we have Amari Cooper going up against the Green Bay Packers. Now, I know last week Amari Cooper kind of didn't play all that good because Dak just played terrible. They weren't running these play action plays that Dak is so good at playing on. He's super accurate on those type of plays. They were just leaving Dak out there to die. Not Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is the Green Bay coach. Fucking Jason Garrett's over there clapping on the sideline as Dak gets drilled on third down because he's calling the incorrect plays. I think Amari Cooper's in for a good game this week as long as the play calls go back to what they were week 1 through 3. At number 9, we have Mr. Sammy Watkins going up against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Sammy Watkins is looking for that redemption from week 1. He played amazing. Week 2, week 3, week 4, a huge disappointment. Week 5 against Indianapolis is a soft defense. I think that Sammy Watkins should be able to eat in this game. Am I worried about Sammy Watkins? 100%. Do I think he's going to be a top 10 guy this week? He should be by all laws of gravity of everything in fantasy football. This is a great matchup for him. Do I think he could potentially fall and just score 10 points? Yes, but his ceiling is so high this week that it's hitting the goddamn moon. It's going out of the earth and hitting the moon because he's playing up against the Colts. So I do like him this week. At number 10, we have Tyler Boyd going up against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals defense is a sieve. You can get right through the Arizona Cardinals defense easily. I think Tyler Boyd, the number 1 wideout on that team. Now, John Ross is out. John Ross is hurt. John Ross out for a month. It's just going to be the Mixon, Boyd, and Auden Tate show for the offense in Cincinnati. And I think that against Arizona's defense, they should be able to have quite the good game. That is why he's ranked number 10. At number 11, we have Adam Thielen going up against the New York Football Giants. Now, he may be the number 1 wide receiver this week because he's playing the Giants, but his quarterback, Kirk Cousins, is god awful. Kirk Cousins couldn't fucking knock one time on the table. He'd miss with his hand, and he'd actually smack himself in the balls because he's playing so bad. Kirk Cousins has looked terrible, but he's playing the Giants, okay? The Giants' defense is not that good. Kirk Cousins is good enough to beat the Giants. He was in Washington for years. He can do it. I think Adam Thielen will be in for a top 12 game this week. At number 12, we have Julian Edelman going against the Washington Redskins. Now, Julian Edelman has not been performing all up to his, like, what I thought he would be doing during the draft season, but this week he's up against the Redskins. Anyone can perform against the Redskins. You could put the water boy in for the Redskins that was fucking mixing the Gatorade with the cups from a few weeks ago against the Bears. You could put him in a wide receiver and he could destroy the Washington defense because they're that easy to beat. Julian Edelman is that talent. Julian Edelman is Tom Brady's favorite target. He's going to be throwing the ball a lot Julian Edelman's way, and I think Julian Edelman may be able to find his way into the end zone, and if he doesn't, he's going to catch the ball 12 times for over 100 yards. Now we're on to 13 through 24. So thus far, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. All right, number 13, we have Juju Smith-Schuster going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I know Juju has been a disappointment thus far this season. We thought Juju was going to be that number 1 guy. Well, he is the number 1 guy on the team, but we thought he was going to be getting peppered with targets from Mr. Big Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben got hurt, as he always does. But this time, he does not return. It is the Mason Rudolph show. Mason Rudolph has not been throwing the ball Juju's way very much. I think this week that may change against Baltimore. He may realize that, hey, Juju is very good, and that's why he's ranked at 13, because in reality, he's probably a top 10 guy every single week if Mason Rudolph realizes that he can throw the ball to him. At number 14, we have T.Y. Hilton going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, T.Y. Hilton may be right, he could be the 40th best wide receiver this week if he's not entirely healthy. So you have to monitor his health completely. This is a great matchup for T.Y. Hilton. If he's injured, he's out. You don't play him. I don't think he's a top 15 guy. But if he's completely healthy, if he's 100% as I'm recording this, I don't know if he's 100%. I don't even know if he's going to play. But if he is 100%, he's a top 15 guy. At number 15, we have Larry Fitz, the ageless wonder, going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals defense is atrocious. It's trash, just like the Cardinals defense. Larry Fitzgerald is in for a big game. Likely Christian Kirk is out, so it's Larry Fitz all by himself with David Johnson. I think Larry Fitz is in for a good game. At number 16, we have Alshon Jeffrey going up against the New York Football Jets. The Jumbo Jets and Mono Boy Sam, they're without Mono Boy Sam. Their defense is without a lot of their key pieces. Alshon Jeffrey is the number 1 wideout on the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to be seeing a lot of work this game against the Jets. probably going to get over 100 yards, potentially a touchdown. The Jets defense has not looked all that good. Alshon Jeffrey last week, we saw he put up those good numbers. I'm confident in him this week against the Jets. At number 17, we have Mr. Inconsistent, Flash Gordon, Mr. Stay Off the Weed, going up against the Washington Redskins. Now, this is such a juicy matchup that I would find it impossible, damn near impossible, to bench Josh Gordon this week. The matchup is far too good for it. He has been inconsistent, but this is too good of a matchup to miss out on Flash Gordon this week. At number 18, we have A-Rob, Allen Robinson going up against the Oakland Raiders. Now you have to deal with Chase Daniels as the quarterback, but Allen Robinson will be good because the Oakland Raiders defense is also terrible. If you've noticed, a lot of these guys in the top of the rankings are playing against terrible defenses. Allen Robinson should be able to have a pretty productive week this week. At number 19, we have Sterling Shepard dealing with a tough Minnesota Vikings defense, but Daniel Jones clearly better than Eli Manning. Sterling Shepard is not the only wide receiver out there. Now you have to deal with Golden Tate, so that may hurt his value, but it also may hurt his value. I think the thing that's going to hurt the most, though, is that Sterling Shepard was being that slot guy. He was running out of the slot a lot this year. Golden Tate is that slot guy, so he will take that over, and that may hurt Sterling Shepard's value a decent amount. At number 20, we have Stephon Diggs going up against the New York Football Giants. Now, I am not even 100% sure Stephon Diggs will be playing in this game. He may sit down. He may get traded all the way to the Patriots in this game or before the game even starts. But if Stephon Diggs is in, you have to believe that he's going to be a top 20 guy. Do I want to start him? Not at all. Would I start him in some situations? Yes, because the Giants defense is so easy to score on. Kirk Cousins may have a vendetta against Stephon Diggs, and that may be something that hurts the team, but at the end of the day, I would rank him this high because he's in such a good opportunity this week. Number 21, we have Marquise Hollywood Brown going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Hollywood Brown has not been the best the last week or two, but I think this week he has a redemption game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a division rival, a game Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens need to win so the Browns don't run away with that division. Hollywood Brown needs to put up those points. He's going to hopefully be getting more snaps than he's been getting, be getting the ball thrown his way. I like him this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. At number 22, we have Emmanuel Sanders going up against the L.A. Chargers. Joe Flacco really likes two guys on the Denver Broncos. He likes throwing it to Emmanuel Sanders, and he likes throwing it to Courtland Sutton, and that's why they are back-to-back at 22 and 23. The reason why I went with Emmanuel Sanders is because he just seems to be getting more targets than Courtland Sutton. That's why he's ranked one higher. But Courtland Sutton is the guy that he's really looking at towards the end zone. That's why he's ranked number 23. At 24, we have Marquez Valdes-Scantling going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Green Bay is without Devontae Adams, one of the best wideouts in the NFL. So you better believe Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the ball to MVS and Geronimo Allison a lot. And I like MVS this week to be a top 24 guy. But at number 25, we have Geronimo Allison going up against the Dallas Cowboys. I think Geronimo Allison is also in for a very productive game. Geronimo Allison is that slot wide receiver. He's going to be getting a lot of those inside the numbers kind of plays. MVS is an outside the numbers kind of guy, running more out. I think Geronimo Allison is in for a pretty good game as well. Definitely like starting him this week. At number 26, we have T.Y. Hilton again. Don't worry about that. We're just going to keep them in twice because I am dumb. At number 27, which is probably 26, we have Jarvis Landry going up against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, if Jarvis is not healthy, you don't play him, but he is trending towards playing. And I think that last week we saw Baker really does like throwing it to Jarvis. I think Jarvis is in for a pretty good game this week. At number 28, we have DJ Moore going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars defense is without Jalen Ramsey. DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel is also ranked 29. Don't have to worry about Jalen Ramsey. So now they'll be able to run free. Kyle Allen looked great week 3, week 4, not so well. It's not so good, but I think this week against Jacksonville, Kyle Allen will look better, and DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel will get a lot of looks. That's why they're ranked 28 and 29. At number 30, we have Calvin Ridley going up against the Houston Texans. Now, Calvin Ridley has been one big disappointment. Am I confident in him this week? No. I'm a lot more confident in Sanu, who's not even on this screen, who's around like the 33, 34, 35 range. I do not love Calvin Ridley this week, but he is ranked highly because he's in a good matchup against Houston, a game that I think may end up being high scoring. At number 31, we have Baby Shark DJ Shark DJ Shark going up against the Carolina Panthers. DJ Shark is Minshew Mania's number one target. When he looks down the field, all he sees is a big heart around DJ Shark because he loves that man. He's going to be slinging the ball DJ Shark's way all day long. I like him against Carolina this week. And the final wide receiver to talk about here, number 32, D. Marcus Robinson, going up against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I am no longer confident in Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman has that fumbleitis, and that big man, Kool-Aid man, Andy Reid said, "Get the fuck out of here," and threw him out last week. DeMarcus Robinson is in for a good week this week, though, against Indianapolis. It is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm very confident in him this week at 32. So thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you chuckled, knock one time, click that fucking subscribe button. If you have just enjoyed at all, click that subscribe button. Click the dislike button if you hated the video. Click the like button if you enjoyed. Click on one of the videos on your screen. I hope that you click on the button that makes you have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I love each and every single one of you. I hope you know that from the bottom of my heart. I hope we can hit 2,300 subscribers soon, and we are going to hit the goddamn moon. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, actually, probably not tomorrow. Probably later. There's some videos coming later. Goodbye.